Africa's total GDP is approximately $2.4 trillion and its population is around 1.3 billion, yet around 65% of Africans remain unbanked or underbanked. Fintech is the fastest growing startup industry in Africa, garnering 54% of known startup funding in 2021. Notably, the African Continental Free Trade Area (AFCFTA), creating the largest free trade area in the world, and the planned rollout of the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System (PAPSS), open new avenues of growth for fintechs by increasing cross-border payments and trade. 92% of Africa's investment in tech is won by just 4 countries: Nigeria, Egypt, Kenya, and South Africa. The relationship between Egypt and Nigeria dates back millennia and has continued to grow in leaps and bounds, recognizing their position as the most populous countries in the region, the 2 strongest African economies with highest GDP. We announce the collaboration between 2 strategic and dynamic economies in Africa, Nigeria and Egypt. The Central Bank of Egypt and Central Bank of Nigeria have decided to establish a Nigeria-Egypt fintech bridge, building on the existing solid relations between the 2 countries. The 2 countries are leading digital markets in Africa with the highest mobile and internet penetration rates, and young digitally literate populations fueling the rapid technological development, strongest and fastest financial development in the region. With thriving payment ecosystems and regional forefront of fintech development, supported by a clear fintech regulatory approach, regulatory efforts by the Central Bank of Egypt to sustain the development of fintech and advance financial inclusion include establishment of the National Payment Council, headed by His Excellency President of Egypt, launch of fintech and innovation strategy, issuance of Central Bank of Egypt and Banking Sector Law No. 194/2020 with a dedicated chapter for payment and fintech that lay out the legislative basis for digital transformation. Launch of Financial Inclusion Strategy 2022 to 2025. Similarly, recent efforts by the Central Bank of Nigeria to promote the digital economy in Nigeria include issuance of guidelines on open banking. National Financial Inclusion Strategy targets to attain a 95% financial inclusion rate by 2024. Issuance of guidelines on Quick Response Code. Launch of the Central Bank Digital Currency, e-Naira. The overarching scope of the Fintech Bridge Bilateral Agreement aims to strengthen engagement on fintech in terms of joint regulatory projects and initiatives, information sharing and knowledge transfer, fintech referrals across the 2 jurisdictions, joint fintech awareness programs, and talent development initiatives. Now is the time for Africa's digital transformation. Fintech is the power of future, and the future is Africa. This historic partnership between the CBN Nigeria and CBE Egypt is formally unveiled at the 2022 International Financial Inclusion Conference in Abuja, Nigeria, uncovering a new dawn in regulatory cooperation for financial inclusion in Africa.